I'm so glad that I've been working with you to help Aoi, and thank you for letting me take a look at the lesson for science on vertebrates, and I appreciate your time today. I want to take this time to go over the modifications that I made on behalf of our ESL student, and it was a great lesson. I enjoyed reading it, enjoyed all the parts of it, very constructivist with hands-on and all the different features. So we'll go through these. I was excited to be able to help out. All of the changes that were made on this lesson are based in WITA and TESOL. And that basically, those organizations drive all of the standards that help ESL. Specifically, WITA is the World Class Instructional Design and Assessment, and it's a consortium of state departments. Currently, I believe there are 31 or 32 different states that participate in WITA, and their state departments, educational departments work together to design instructional assessments and test questions that maintain the state standards and Common Core. So Kentucky is a member of WITA, and also TESOL, which is the Teachers of English to Speakers of Other Languages. That is a professional organization that augments the work of WITA. So WITA works on the assessment portion of the work with research-based information and data, and TESOL will design standards also based on students, how they progress toward acquiring English.
Okay.
They have, TESOL has both standards for the language development in different contents as well. We're going to talk about the science one today, and they also have technology standards. And interestingly, the technology standards are for the student, the ESL student, and also the teachers. So I am certainly learning a lot about that part of it, and realizing that technology is it's a priority for the learning for today's global learner. So we'll go over those standards for technology as we move through the lesson. The TESOL standard number 4 is our language of science standard.
Okay.
And that's where Aoi is going to be focused on communicating some ideas in science. I will assure you that all of the standards they do maintain their rigor. They are very designed around the Common Core. So very interesting. The language domain for this lesson will be reading. Those 4 language domains, reading, writing, listening, and speaking, are part of the TESOL and the WITA matrix of working through that language acquisition. And so his domain is reading, and that will be satisfied with him putting pictures and labels and working with the classifications of the vertebrates. He is in grade level cluster 1 through 3. And as they write their standards, they do cluster them according to developmental, age-appropriate, developmental appropriate language. The topic, of course, is vertebrates, great topic. And Aoi's language proficiency level is 1, according to what we've been able to assess with him. It's called starting. He's basically going to be constructing meaning through pictures and words, and so that's the goal, one of the goals. As part of supporting his learning, there's model performance indicators that include supports, and a support is just basically it's how you support that language development. Your lesson was full of those already, and I just added a few more, and we filled that out. The categories of supports are sensory, graphic, and interactive supports. And the sensory side, your real life turtle in the aquarium is awesome. And I know Aoi, he's been drawn to that, those aquariums and your turtle and your tarantula since day one. So he lights up with that, and that's a sensory support for his language development, along with the hands-on activities and the pictures and the podcast that's included. Also, the graphic supports with all the pictures, and there's a graphic organizers that I've included in this lesson as well, and we'll get to that. And the interactive supports. There's an online game that I will be introducing to this lesson for Aoi and for all the other students as well.
Perfect.
And then your wonderful use of cooperative learning with pairs and groups. Fantastic design for students that are learning a second language. So your lesson, you plan to go into your materials kind of are all telling about using plastic bags and ice and shortening and gloves. Oh my heavens, I want to be there when he's digging into that and learning about the different body coverings. I'm excited, so thank you for writing that. To help our student ahead of time,